My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review for the Novice, not directed by Adam McKay. Get it? I doubt very few of you actually do. But this is a movie that I heard great things about. I was looking forward to it, and I have to say that it didn't really end up doing all too much for me. Now let's talk about what I did like. We got Isabel Fuhrman in the leading role, and I think she's really good in this movie. I don't know if I've seen her in much outside of Orphan, but yeah, she proves here that she is still a really good actress. And I do think Lauren Hathaway does a good job directing this movie. It's well shot, and it uses sound in a very impactful kind of way. I think the musical score by Alex Weston is fantastic. Like, it should have been up for Best Original Score for the Oscars this year because, man, this was a really great score. And I like the style of the text when it's on screen. Like when it tells you what day it is, it's got a really unique style to it, which I quite dug. And this movie definitely got me to appreciate the people behind rowing a lot more. Like, when you do the rowing with the boat, yeah, like it looks very difficult. So the movie definitely shines a light on that. But it just didn't do much for me. It did take me a while to get invested with the lead character. I thought for the first little bit it kept us at a distance, and I don't really think that worked all too well. Her friendship should have been better developed with her one friend. I just didn't really care about the friends and where that friendship ends up heading in. And I do wish they kind of had it so she had more of a student-mentor relationship with any of the teachers. If one of the teachers was more willing to guide her, to spend extra time with her to help her succeed, I think that would have added a nice dynamic. Like, there are two teachers, and they are in the movie, but they don't really feel like characters within it. I just feel like they could have been given more to do. And there is this romantic relationship, which I didn't really buy for a single second. I thought it was completely lacking. It felt completely forced. And like the teacher character is just like, no, I wouldn't date you. I would never date one of my students. Which is a good rule to have. But then she pulls a 180 and she's like, just kidding. You're not my student anymore. So, it couldn't get me on board with it. I thought it was really weird. But I do have two big issues with this movie. And the first one, and definitely the biggest one, is that this is a very one-note kind of movie. There's little sense of any bit of escalation or progression throughout this entire runtime. If you made this movie into a 15-minute short film, I think you could have gotten the point across in that time. If you're going to go ahead and be an hour and a half, there has to be some sort of progression. I got what the movie was saying right at the start. Now how are you going to build off that and keep things evolving and interesting? And the movie doesn't. It just eventually leads it down to the conclusion that it was inevitably going to have. And my other big issue with this movie is that simply Whiplash did it better. The whole idea of what it takes to be great was explored in a much more impactful way in Whiplash. And I know it's not always fair to compare movies that try to go for the same ideas or whatever, but Whiplash is such a masterpiece that just did such an amazing job that I can't help it. It's like every single shark movie that ever comes out will always be compared to Jaws. Every single dinosaur movie that comes out will always be compared to Jurassic Park. That's just what happens sometimes. It might not be fair, but that's just the way it is. If I ever want to watch a movie that touches on these ideas, I'm just going to watch Whiplash because this movie does try to do the same thing Whiplash did, but with wallboard instead of drumming. And it's fine. I'm glad the director made the movie she wanted to make, but I would always just pick Whiplash over this movie. It might not be fair, but that's the way it is. Like a couple years ago, I watched this movie called Wonder Darkly, and the entire time I was watching it, I'm just like, yeah, I'd rather watch Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind over this movie. It's just, sometimes that just happens when movies nail certain ideas and explore certain themes so perfectly that any movie that tries to touch on those ideas and themes in later movies just end up getting compared to. If you're going to explores the same ideas, you have to find a way to make your movie different and stand out, and this movie just didn't do that for me. I also found the ending to be completely unsatisfying. You know when the ending of Whiplash happens and you're just like, holy shit, what an ending. This ending just left me feeling, didn't really impact me in any meaningful way. And I do wish it explored themes better. Like, even if there were more discussions about what this movie is about throughout, like, I know it's a famous saying, and I say it all the time, sure, don't tell. But when a movie is about something, it should be at the core of the movie, and you can have discussions about things without blatantly being about it. And I just wish they found a way to tie all the ideas and themes into more of the dialogue into this movie, because I don't feel like they did. Look, lots of people do love this movie, so if it sounds like something you'd like, maybe give it a try. But this movie just ended up falling short for me. There's definitely talent involved. The main performance is great, it's well directed, the sound is good, the musical score is great. There's definitely talent involved. I just wish they were involved with a better, more unique and original movie. So I'm going to go ahead and give the Novice, I definitely mispronounced that, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and give it a 4.5 out of 10. Okay, have you seen the Novice? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.